No one talks about Jinx and Ekko, so I'm going to. There's a secret society of Arcane fans online who have stamped this couple with the name Timebomb, which is one of the more creative shipping names I've heard in a while. I think Kate Vi sounds like some sort of disease. Violin works a lot better. That one's crisp. Anyway, I had one for these two, and my choice for their couple name would be Dysfunction. I'm playing. Ekko and Jinx aesthetically do make a good pairing. Their steampunk outfit choices fit like cereal and milk. They're also both leaders of very alternative looking groups. Jinx has her Jinxes and Ekko has the Firelights. While the Jinxes are more punk and grunge aesthetic, you just know that if there was a hard concert in the lanes, both of these groups would have a decent showing at that concert. Both groups are also notorious for tagging buildings and pretty much putting their graffiti everywhere. What I'm trying to say is there's crossover between these groups. The reason why this Jinx and Ekko ship is even a thing is because the Arcane team took it upon themselves to give us crumbs of evidence that this thing is gonna happen. Pay attention to Powder here, giving Ekko the same greeting that her mother gives her. There's also this music video with both of them in it, and of course the unforgettable fight scene on the bridge, where both characters were giving each other a different range of emotion and looks throughout. Their actions were saying one thing, but the micro expressions that they were sending to each other were saying something completely different. It felt to me and a lot of Arcane viewers that there were a lot of things left unsaid due to the circumstances. But what you might not have noticed in that fight is that it was drenched in symbolism. The Firelights were associated with Ekko and the Ravens were associated with Jinx. Ravens are death birds. Their link to Jinx is to represent the death and misfortune that follows her around. And that's why in this scene she shoots one of them, because it fills her with rage, understanding that wherever she goes, death follows. Whereas Firelights are these small, vulnerable, yet beautiful little creatures. But the real spectacle with the Firelights is when they unite and appear together in the night sky. You may be able to squash one of them, but you can't ruin their moment lighting up the skyline. I know the Raven choice was very intentional because Jinx could have very easily been tied to deep water like Silco, but the point they were making here is that Ekko and Jinx would both be tied to flying creatures, which usually represent freedom. We see the bird motif continue with Jinx as this Undercity mural ties her to doves, almost equating her to Janna, but also ridding her to her ties to ravens. For a more positive bird, if you want to call it that, the promo material reinforces this symbolism, as both of them will be in the sky at some point. Speaking about the promo material, in a lot of these promo clips, Ekko is marked with the same pink X that we see on Isha's hat, meaning that him and Jinx interact before this fight, and he might be the reason why she's there to begin with. When Jinx meets Isha, the Firelight emblem is all over that scene as well. There's a certain dynamic playing out between those three characters, even though we might not get the opportunity to see all three of them on screen at once. Like I said earlier, my best bet is that Ekko helps Jinx heal from whatever's gonna happen. In another shot, Jinx also has the Firelight neon green on her, and she has what could be the Firelight emblem behind her. Bro, she even wears face paint and a hoodie like a certain character. Ekko's voice actor, Reed Shannon, dropped this poster. Now, while we can't tell what's going on here, this is pretty much confirmation that we will at least get some of these speculations about Timebomb resolved. I don't care much about the relationship side, but this scene left us with so many unanswered questions and so much undealt with tension. I want to see where these characters stand with each other after this all plays out. Will they hurt or harm each other? Or maybe a combination of both. I just want to see it play out.
Whether I'm pulling the pin or not, everyone who gets close to me dies.
She pulled the pin on Ekko as well, so she may believe that she's responsible for his death. But in Ekko fashion, he rewrites history in her mind, showing her that not everyone close to her dies, breaking the curse. So you watching right now, how do you feel about the Jinx Ekko ship? Do you think we're going to see them in Act 3? Do you think we're going to get more action from these two characters? Let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, and if you got this far, be sure to subscribe. Hopefully we can hit 10k before the year ends. This is Lois signing off. Peace.